Ho, 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 Heat Nation. Welcome on in. Your Miami Heat winners tonight over the Orlando Magic, 115 to 106 in a game that was fairly easily won by your Miami Heat. If you want to get dicey with it there at the end and talk about the fourth quarter woes, I don't really want to put this one in the same category as like the Minnesota game. It got a little weird there at the end. They got it to single digits with like a bank-in three. I was never really worried. I wasn't worried, wasn't sweat. I literally, when that bank three went in, I was like, just laughing at it. I was like, all right. You could make this a thing if you wanted to. Bam had to come back in. They brought in Orlando Robinson for like 3 seconds, and wouldn't you know it, boom. They have to resort to getting him the hell out of there and putting Bam back in. But all in all, this game was really won in the second quarter. I mean, the Miami Heat just absolutely annihilated the Orlando Magic in the second quarter, which actually worked out well for me because I missed the entire first quarter. Very rare for me that I miss a Miami Heat game, miss a Miami Heat quarter. But jiu-jitsu running late tonight for my son, so I'm listening to Jax on the way in, and it seemed like a pretty good back and forth that was going on. I didn't watch it, but once I got home, I saw some of the highlights on Twitter. Jaime Jaquez with a little bit of a block action. But Tyler Herro was the story of tonight, dude. Boy wonder. I mean, he knew it was holiday season because he lit the Magic's ass up like a Christmas tree tonight. He looks back. He looked good in the first half of that Minnesota Timberwolves game. But this one, he looked good the whole damn time. Today, Tyler Herro finished with 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Let's say it, Leroy. Flirted with the triple-double. 10 of 17 from the field, 4 of 5 from downtown. Even got to the free throw line 4 times today, which is good for Tyler. So just a tremendous performance from Boy Wonder today. He was really the catalyst for it all on this Miami Heat club that, walked into Orlando and certainly had themselves a night from downtown, especially in the first half. Miami went out there in the first half and they hit 11 of 19 threes in the first half. It was 11 of 18 from downtown in the first half. I would only hit 4 the rest of the way. But in the first half, I mean, it was Tyler, it was J. Rich, it was Duncan, and it was Haywood Highsmith. Haywood Highsmith today had himself an absolute day. I mean, not only was he putting Paolo Banchero in hell, who had a rough shooting night. Both of their big guns did. Paolo Banchero, 2 of 12 today. Franz Wagner, he was 5 of 14, and he's been in a little bit of a slump-ski. But the Miami Heat defense really just showed up strong in this game against Orlando, who, yes, they got off to a tremendous start, 14-5 to start the year. They've been in a little bit of a downslide now, as they have them 2 out of their last 6 they've won. But listen, I'm not taking away credit for what the Miami Heat did today. It's been a good team all year. They're 16-9 on the season. They were 16-8 coming into this one, and you pretty much won this one convincingly in my eyes, because the bums won't talk about it. I mean, they'll go out there and they'll give all the flowers in the world to the Boston Celtics for beating the brakes off these guys twice. So you're going to be a Miami Heat. You're going to be looking at the Miami Heat, who went in here without Jimmy Butler tonight, should be mentioned. Hasn't been mentioned tonight. Jimmy was out of this game. So was Kevin Love. So you replaced a couple of guys there in the starting lineup. And you just absolutely kicked their tail in this one. But a lot of the credit really goes. I mean, they got absolutely crushed by 2 guys in this game particularly. I thought the 2 stars of this game offensively for Miami were Tyler. We gave him his flowers. But Duncan Robinson, man, I want to say with Duncan, here's the thing that's been amazing about him, and this shows even more growth into his game and what he's been able to do. It's not just the fact that he has added to his game. That's been obvious. We've all seen it. It's been an amazing year. But I also feel like now you've asked him to go back into a bench role, right? That was going to be a fascinating thing because Duncan Robinson with Tyler out was in the starting lineup. He was killing it. He was having an awesome time. Okay, how does Duncan Robinson handle going back onto the bench role and blending in with everybody else? I'll tell you how he handled it. He handled it like an effing champ. That's how he handled it. He went out there and he there's just no panic in the guy. The anxiousness or any type of mental wear that this guy maybe used to wear on his face, or nervousness, or any of that all that stuff is gone now. The guy just he plays the game on his own damn terms, and you can never count him out. There was this one play, a loose ball. Thomas Bryant kind of was kicking it, gives it off to Duncan Robinson, shot clock winding down. That puppy's rolling into the paint, finger roll. That one's going in. And, now you have Duncan Robinson who's doing these just insane driving kicks to J-Rich, and you're just like, this man is like the Mona Lisa, but if Mona Lisa was painting herself in art. Like, as an artsman, I could really appreciate that. And I could just say with Duncan Robinson, it's been phenomenal to see. He was a plus 16 tonight for your Miami Heat, only to be topped today by Thomas Bryant, who was also fantastic. You have to give him credit. He's looked really, really good in that backup center role, especially in the games where there were no Bam, his last couple performances, and then the game tonight with no Kevin Love. He has now kind of stepped back in there after that role was basically taken by Orlando Robinson. So you have to really give credit to Thomas Bryant for his ass staying ready. He did a fantastic job. It was a really, really nice night for Miami. Kyle Lowry, who was coming off of an injury, he only played 18 minutes. Really quiet night for Kyle. So that's good. You didn't need too much stress on that. And one of the things you have to love about Orlando is, look, they're having a nice season. This is only their second home loss, so they've been amazing in their arena. Where I have actually never watched a basketball game of the Orlando Magic. I have been there for UFC. I went there for UFC about a year ago to watch Kevin Holland versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Sergey Pavlovich knocked out Tai Tuivasa up against the cage. I was at that fight, but they've been really good at home. Even with their recent struggles and the issues that they had losing to the Celtics and all that stuff. They have only lost once at home this season, and that was all the way back in November. Nope, that was in Mexico City. So their last home loss was all the way back in, when the hell was this game? November 6th was their last home loss to Luka and them boys from Dallas. So you end up the first home loss in well over a month. Yeah, that's one you definitely have to be proud of. And I said for this week, it was going to be a good test for Miami with Minnesota and Orlando with the way they've been playing. As they said on the broadcast, you're two surprises of the league, really. But I think you see all the young talent that they have, and yeah, it was about damn time like these teams would get it together and do something. So could Miami go out there and make something happen? I think with Minnesota, that was a neck and neck game. And today, Miami really took care of it, took it to Orlando. So all in all, this has been a really good start to the week for the Heat, especially in a performance today without Jimmy. And you didn't get this. You didn't get an A+ game from Bam today. Bam was dealing with some foul trouble in the first half, and the Heat just decided to just go bombs away, and that worked out great. But Bam did have a tremendous. Here's the one thing that was interesting about the fourth quarter. Spo, he let Tyler play till the end. Now, mind you, there's no Jimmy, so it's a little different. But he once again let Tyler play all the way to the end of the third quarter, and Miami finished up 89-72. So they're up 17 points, all right? And he comes out fourth quarter. Your lineup is Bam, J-Rich, Triple J, Duncan, and Haywood Highsmith. And Bam really took it upon himself to keep the scoring up, and he did a really great job. He had a couple of beautiful shot fake buckets where he was really shaking Goga Batazzi and Jonathan Isaac. He was destroying these dudes. So he had them biting on everything. He had that confident jumper. And so he made it at one point after his shot fake up to 21. So they extended the lead in the early goings of that fourth quarter. That was really the big thing here. And then you had you had a series where Duncan, he has the pretty dime to J Rich, keeps him up 21. Then Spo, they go to a timeout. They stagger Bam and Tyler. He takes Bam out. He puts Tyler in, and then you get a nice little run from the Heat. So he was doing some different things there in the fourth quarter. Spo definitely felt like he was trying to put a better flow to having one of his two stars out there before you got to the end, which kind of got wonky. Like J Rich made it a 24-point game with a 3-ball. It was 106-82. And, it just kind of got weird from there. Like that 3-pointer from J Rich was at fourth quarter, 106. Yeah, J Rich with 5 minutes left. He made it a 24-point game. And then that was kind of the Heat being done with scoring basically for the rest of the game. Like they would get some free throws, obviously. I think that was actually the last make that the Heat had. Is that the last make the Heat had? I'm looking. Free throw. Yeah, so the Heat didn't score a field goal from the last 5:30 on, but they were up 24. So I can't put this game in the same category as the other fourth quarter failures or collapses. It's still annoying, I give you. It would just be nice if the teams went away. But here's the thing, like you get into these games and even like the guys like going out there, it's like, not their starters. It's not their go-to guys. They're just chucking up bombs and it's like annoying. You're like basically playing prevent defense and hoping that this just doesn't all collapse on your head and they're hitting 3-pointers off the glass and you actually have to get back in the mode of they're pressing you full court and you got to get the ball in and all that stuff. So this one to me is not under the same umbrella as the other fourth quarters. I thought that, they really put their foot on if anything, I thought to go up 17 and then get it to up 24 with 5 minutes left. I really thought it showed Miami put their foot on the throat of Orlando, and then things just get kind of wonky there at the end. So all in all, a really, really great performance. But Tyler Herro was the star of the show of this one. And this is what going back to today earlier where we're talking about the Donovan Mitchell thing and why I'm not going down this path again. I want to see this Tyler Herro thing through. Like we've thrown this poor bastard into every he's actually a really rich bastard. But we've thrown this guy into every trade rumor, every piece of fodder. They're doing it again with the Tyler Herro thing. And they're going to do the thing, well, I don't want Tyler Herro. Nobody wants Tyler Herro, blah, blah, blah. This dude's killing it. He has had a tremendous season. He had a very poor luck injury. He's back now. His first 2 games have been tremendous. Came out like gangbusters in that first game, first half. Did it again today. And then this one, he sustained it. I think he was 16 points in the first half today. Gave you 12 in the second half. He was dynamic. Man. I do think it's time for the Heat to let this see through. Also, like you can't take this stuff seriously with the Donovan Mitchell thing. Like, you had another report today. They threw cold water on it. They're going to stick with Donovan Mitchell. Who knows? But I really think it's really incumbent upon the Heat to not entertain the noise. I think that this team in particular dealt with so much noise in the offseason, especially Tyler Herro. He's playing great right now. See this puppy out. He's balling out right now for the Miami Heat. He's killing it. And he absolutely was tremendous today against Orlando and was the numero uno reason the Miami Heat coming home with a big time victory. Next up for them is the Atlanta Hawks, and that game will be on Friday night. Atlanta is not doing so hot right now. Atlanta is 11-15 on the season, which I definitely think is way below their expectations. They did get a win in their last game against the Pistons, so, do with that what you will. Right now they're playing what do they got in the Rockets game right now? They're trailing the Rockets. Nope, just took the lead against the Rockets. I'm going to stop talking about this Rockets-Hawks game. The point is, they're not playing their best basketball this season. Definitely below expectations. So coming into your building, yeah, that's a game you should expect to win. And get done against Trae Young. Of course, him and his little beefski with Jimmy Butler, although his history against the Miami Heat since the old fortune teller game is not great. It's like the opposite of the Wolves thing. So very much looking forward to this. Although they did, to be fair, they did crush the Heat in that play-in game, which, hey, sparked everything. Set them up for the Bucks series, had everybody right where they wanted to. Maybe the Heat took a dive. You never think about that? Maybe they did in that play-in game, that first one, where Clint Capella had like a gazillion rebounds. Hard to say.